So Jono, like as Christian surfers, we've kind of run through a whole lot of Bibles in multiple languages, and they've been pretty amazing. But we're about to kick off on a whole new adventure. You want to give us what's it all about?
Yeah, so basically we are out of print of the English Surfer's Bible, which was, I think, last published in 2009. So we've handed those out. I think there's been over 100,000 Surfer's Bibles given around the world, and we're out of print of the English one. It's also a little outdated with some of the testimonies. So for those that haven't seen a Surfer's Bible before, it's basically the Bible, but with testimonies inserted inside it of surfers that most surfers will know. And so it just really is a great way for someone that's never read the Bible before to enter into the story of the Bible. Yeah, so we...
And there have been some pretty amazing stories of random, crazy things that have...
Yeah, just the way that God has used those physical Bibles to either... Our heart is really to give them away, like to put them into the hands of surfers that wouldn't normally read a Bible. And so, yeah, we've heard, even just the last few days I've been chatting to people, and just testimony after testimony of how God has like placed a Surfer's Bible strategically in someone's life, and it's been a part of their journey, a significant part of their journey to getting to know Jesus. Yeah. And so there's something still really precious about having a physical Bible. And so, yeah, we feel like that's the way to continue on.
And so we know that we're living in a digital world, and things have really shifted on. And in some of the discussions, it was, is this even, how does this work? And you came up with a pretty amazing idea, I think. So just maybe tell us a little bit about how you marry sort of the real tactile sense of a physical Bible that you can give away with the fact that literally most people read the Bible on their phones, or we live in a digital space.
Yeah. Man, I'm so excited about this. Like, for me, the combination of a physical Bible that we can still give out to people, but then to have behind that a digital hub of content. So all the testimonies, traditionally we've just printed, had a limited space that we can print a testimony on a page. But the possibilities here is that we can create a digital space that coexists with the physical one. So we've actually already got the surfersbible.com as our global website that we're going to be utilizing. And on that will be video testimonies that will be more expansive than what's on the actual printed pages. So, and we can also just continue to build a library of just incredible testimonies. We're here, I mean, yeah, I'd love to just tell a quick story, and people might be interested in this. We're here at the APAC gathering here at Lennox Head, and just only a day or two ago we heard from a Brazilian girl, Ursula. She actually just had a Surfer's Bible sort of put in front of her, through God, put it there, and we're going to tell her story. It's really cool. But just to be able to like take stories like hers, tell them in a testimony format in video content. Like in the past, we were quite limited. So we are going to still sort of hone in and focus on some high profile surfers. But also we now have the possibility of just like sharing these stories and building a library of just amazing stories that I think will connect with people. Because it's not just the high profile pro surfers that we're going to tell, but we're going to tell the story of everyday people as well, and just how they journeyed to God. So that's pretty exciting, like to build a library of testimonies like that.
The thing that I'm wondering, so basically the digital platform, how does it link with the physical Bible? I mean, and I imagine there's two questions. One, you can probably keep it fresh, so if there's something topical like the Olympics, we might want to share a story around that. But how do we connect someone who's got the physical Bible to someone who's living in, how do they marry or connect with each other?
Yeah, so it's kind of both ways actually. So someone that's actually been given a Surfer's Bible, in the pages of the Surfer's Bible, we're going to include some printed content and some testimonial content, but then there's going to be QR codes that people can scan. And thanks to COVID, we all are very familiar with QR codes now and scanning. And so basically each of the testimonies, there'll be a portion printed, or there'll be some content printed, but then there'll be a QR code to scan, and that will take people through to the website where they can read a longer testimony as well as watch a video testimony. And so that's the link from the Bible if someone already has a physical Bible. It's also going to be the other way. So what I'm really excited about is being able to put a whole lot of video content out there into the social media channels. And we know that that's like today's digital age, that's a way of like reaching people who otherwise may not walk into a church or even attend a Christian Surfers event. But as we utilize really good video content and as we sort of share that out into the globe, the idea is that that will also be a touch point for people, and they can sort of follow the link. And if they want to watch more or hear more, that they can actually, probably in their own private time or on their phone while they're traveling on a train or wherever they might be, they can watch that content and then land themselves on the Surfers Bible website. At which point, our dream is to be able to offer them a free Surfers Bible wherever they are globally. Wow. And so that's the other way. So basically, the digital platform becomes a conduit for people who want to get connected. And so so
the vision's that if, say, someone touches us on Instagram and connects with the Surfers Bible, one of the testimonies, but actually wants a real analog copy, they'd be able to get one.
So at the moment we're sort of in the mode of like looking at how can we pay it forward with these, like fundraise for them and have them already paid for surfers to request a free Surfers Bible. So
that's a good point, because you bringing it to where the rubber hits the road. The intention, from what I understand it, is the goal is to move as many of these as possible. So it's not an income generator at all. It's a missional product, but and I know there are a couple of strategies, but how are we going to do that?
Well, at this stage, our first step is to try and print 25,000 English Surfers Bibles, and they will go to the major English-speaking nations. And then also Audrey and the team in France, they're really keen to get a new Surfers Bible in French as well, especially with the Olympics in 2024. So we're looking at up to 6,000 French Surfers Bibles too. So our goal right now is to basically fund the print and delivery of those Bibles and to have the money in the bank to be able to send them out. So we print them and then we can actually pay for them to be delivered to the nations, and also ultimately delivered down to a local beach level as well, and to surfers that request them. So,
and ballpark, what we're looking at?
Okay, so it's an average of around about $8 or 10 Aussie dollars or whatever your currency is. Basically, that's the cost that we've broken down per Bible.
So it's $8 to get a Bible in the hands of somebody somewhere around the world. That's the landed cost from print to in someone's hands. That's amazing.
And that's really for us to be able to deliver that as well. So that's our total kind of hard cost on that. There's also some of the video content is included in that budget, so that we can have a website with content on it as well. So that's kind of what we're aiming to cover.
Okay, and then I'm presuming that there's probably quite a high demand across other languages. I know that might be step 2, but you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
So we're here at the APAC gathering, so Asia Pacific. And already there's lots of conversations happening with the guys from Taiwan about a Chinese version. There's guys talking to us about updating the Japanese version as well. There's conversations with the other language groups, the major language groups like the Portuguese and Spanish. So basically we're having conversations now with others around the globe about how we can utilize all languages and bring all languages in. And one of the exciting things is it's actually in a digital space with our digital hub of content. It's going to be a lot of content that's relevant regardless, especially because we are really a tribe of surfers around the world. And so a story like, let's say Bethany Hamilton, very well known around the world, her story is going to be relevant regardless of culture and language. All we need to do then is translate that content into multiple languages. So we're looking at how we can grow this beyond just the English and the French Surfers Bibles. But that's kind of probably next phase, but we're hoping that would be in 2024 as well.
Yeah. Fantastic, mate. So basically what we're doing is we've got pretty much a good little run onto stage 1, but we've got a massive vision. And while the print side is $8, we are looking to grow donors both from a ongoing point of view to make it sustainable in terms of the digital backend, right?
Yeah. The upside is that if we have more funds, we can actually create more and more really good quality video content as well. So it's kind of, and that content will then be very beneficial in helping to reach a wider audience. So we're aiming to fundraise to make sure we get the printed Bibles and we get our first kind of collection of stories that we can tell. But ultimately we could really do with double that amount really to actually be able to take our video teams around the world and to actually record really, really good stories. So yeah, that's our kind of the possible realm of which this could go. We're embarking on a whole new frontier really when it comes to CS being able to utilize media in a really powerful way.
Well, I must say, I think this is a super exciting project, and for the folk watching, I can just see it growing in momentum and speed. And, I really can see how this is going to have a massive global impact in terms of our surfing tribe, Totally. God's word is, it does its own thing, So anything last words to say to the crew out there?
For me, this is a really cool project in the sense that at a local beach, we can think of probably the surfers that we'd actually love to give that a surfer's Bible to.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
And the guys that we're like paddling around in the lineup, even the ones that annoy us because they're really, really difficult, they're the ones we ultimately want to, make sure receive a surfer's Bible. And so I'm always like, when I look at this project.
You mean you're not that guy?
Maybe on a bad day when I haven't had enough sleep, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
So basically my dream with this is that we start to think and look at our lineup and the people around us and think, how do we actually create a resource that they would want to read or they'd want to engage with?
Yeah, explore.
So whilst it's like this big global project, it's very local as well. And I think when we we're going to roll out some fundraising, which is really about us saying to all the CS crew around the world, like, how many Bibles do you actually want to give away on your local beach?
Yeah. So one second there. So Christian Surfers is working like roughly 33 countries at the moment. Yeah. And one of the plans that I think you mentioned to me earlier is really, like you say, this is going to land in the grass, on the beaches, is an engagement with that world. So they're actually going to help raise funding for a product that they're going to use, correct? You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so we've actually landed on the date, on the 28th of October 2023. We want to have a global fundraiser. We're calling it a surfathon, and basically it's possibly the first of its kind. I don't actually know that it's been done before, but we want to enlist surfers all over the world that really care about getting this product, the Surfer's Bible, made. And if they're willing to go out and surf for a few hours, I mean, that's a tough sell, but if they're willing to go out and actually surf a few waves, then each wave that they catch, we're asking them to go to their friends and family and say, would you support me to do this surfathon and help print a Surfer's Bible? And so, like we said earlier, like every wave that they catch, we'd like them to try and fundraise $8 US or equivalent in other currencies to actually help make this possible.
So every wave, if you raise $8, that means a Surfer's Bible into someone's hand.
Yeah,
and a link back to the digital platform.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
We're really excited about actually rolling out a fundraiser that's for everyone to be part of. Yeah. And it is going to be a lot of fun too, actually, like to think of having you guys in South Africa and us here in Australia, and then the friends in the US and New Zealand, and actually all over the world. Wherever you are, you can be part of this. And we're going to have a website that's a central space for people to sign up to that and also to collect donations. So there'll be heaps more info about that, but I really want everyone to get on board with it. Okay, so for info like that, we go to the surfathon.com. Yeah, and all the Christian surfers, especially the 5 major English-speaking nations, Australia, New Zealand, US, UK, South Africa. There'll be a lot of information flowing out from the teams. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Super exciting.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. And I think just one last thing to say to the folk watching. Having started this process, it's been amazing to see how and who has got on board. So you don't have to be a surfer to partake. There's been moms and aunties and uncles that have just, bought into this. And that's really warmed my heart that there's so many people that are actually looking at our surf culture and have gone, man, I want to help get a surfer's Bible into the hands of a surfer. So thank you. And whoop.
Let's do it.
Awesome, bro. Done.